This is Jeff Kuhner from the Washington Times, sitting in for Michael Savage on the Savage Nation. You want a smoking gun? Here is a smoking gun tape, right here for all of you listeners of the Savage Nation. FBI agent Larry Warthwohl infiltrated the Weather Underground. This is the crowd of Bill Ayers, Bernardine Dorn. These are the people that Obama affiliated and associated himself with for over a decade before he became president. Warthwohl is now giving testimony. And by his own testimony, he says once he infiltrated the Weather Underground, they were talking about a Marxist revolution in America, capturing the American government, bringing in the Soviet Union, bringing in China, bringing in Cuba. And the kicker is then these members of the Weather Underground said, we will have to send 25 million Americans into re-education camps. And if they're not re-educated, we're just going to have to slaughter them and wipe them out, as was done in Cambodia, in China, and in Soviet Russia. Here is Larry Warthwohl, the FBI agent, in his own words. Boys, roll.
I brought up the subject of what's going to happen after we take over the government. We become responsible then for administrating, 250 million people. And there was no answers. No one had given any thought to economics. How are you going to clothe and feed these people? The only thing that I could get was that they expected that the Cubans and the North Vietnamese and the Chinese and the Russians would all want to occupy different portions of the United States. They also believed that their immediate responsibility would be to protect against what they called the counter-revolution. And they felt that this counter-revolution could best be guarded against by creating and establishing re-education centers in the Southwest. Where we would take all the people who needed to be re-educated into the new way of thinking and teach them how things were going to be. I asked, well, what is going to happen to those people that we can't re-educate, that are die-hard capitalists? And the reply was that they'd have to be eliminated. And when I pursued this further, they estimated that they would have to eliminate 25 million people in these re-education centers. And when I say eliminate, I mean kill. 25 million people. I want you to imagine sitting in a room with 25 people, most of which have graduate degrees from Columbia and other well-known educational centers, and hear them figuring out the logistics for the elimination of 25 million people. And they were dead serious.
That was FBI agent Larry Warthwohl. He had infiltrated the Weather Underground in the late 60s, early 70s. And this was later his testimony. That's who Bernardine Dorn is and was. That's who Bill Ayers is and was. That's the kind of people that Barack Hussein Obama ran with, affiliates with, and associated with. The mass murder of 25 million Americans on American soil, having this country occupied by the Chinese, the Cubans, and the Soviets. And this is the man, Bill Ayers, and Bernardine Dorn, who to this day are poster children for the 60s and for American liberalism. My friends, forget Derek Bell. We already have the smoking gun. And the only question I have for the American people is this. How could you allow a man like Barack Hussein Obama, with his obvious radical Marxist ties, into the Oval Office? My friends, we have a fifth column in this city. We have a fifth column in America, and that is Barack Obama, and that's why he must be defeated in November. Jeff Kuhner, sitting in for Michael Savage on the Savage Nation.